it's good to be back. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
How, Mike? How your date was last night?
Yeah, with Marie. Yeah, it was great.
With Marie, right?
You matched with her on Tinder.
Yeah,
in last week's episode. That's right. You told us
after I
about
was
this.
declared the sexiest Long Island. I'll tell you what, that helped a lot. That's been helping.
That was a good conversational lubricant.
It really was, believe it or not.
Has your likes reached the double digits yet?
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I haven't looked at it since the date with Marie. I think that's something really special.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
well, okay. Well, do tell.
Okay,
wow.
Listen, I'm a gentleman. I'm not gonna go too deep here, but let's just say it was a lot of fun.
Sounds like someone went too deep.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna deny, but she's a lady. I'll tell you that.
Well,
that's good.
That's interesting, Mike, and I'm glad you had a good time. I'm certainly glad that you had a good time. We did get a piece of mail here at the Barone Zone.
Oh, great.
Yeah, addressed to you, / legal representation. It's your copy of a release form.
What?
Yeah. Do you remember signing while you were at the restaurant? Do you remember signing anything, like a legal document of some kind?
It may have been passed off as a check.
Yeah, I was gonna say I signed the receipt. Is that?
Did it faze you at all that it was a legal paper sized?
Or that a man
receipt?
in a suit came up to you and gave it to you?
I mean, we went to a fine establishment. I kind of assumed it was just like a CVS thing where they just put way too much detail into it.
Did the man who handed it to you have a baseball cap that said True TV on it?
That does ring a bell.
Okay.
Where are you going? I thought he was covering a bald spot or something. Is this what are
He
you?
very well may have been, Mike.
He may have been on an unrelated note. Well, we opened it because you know about our no felonies between friends deal here in the Barone Zone where we open each other's mail. Did you notice anything unusual about this date? Where she was pausing and then cracking up a little bit before saying the next part of the conversation
that's part of what made her really attractive. That's like that's funk.
the potentially hidden cameras everywhere that may or may not have captured the entire evening.
You guys know something I don't. You're playing coy with me. What's going on here?
I think we should in the envelope was an advanced copy of this. I think we should just play it for you.
Rolling.
That means Murr is tonight's big loser.
We're here at Angelina's Italian restaurant in Limbrook on Long Island, where we've set up Murr on a date with Long Island Magazine's Sexiest Man of the Year.
That's right, but here's the catch. We've spent the last few weeks convincing this guy that Murr is actually the late actress in Everybody Loves Raymond star, Doris Roberts.
We're gonna see if Murr can make it through the date without revealing the truth, and more importantly, seal the deal at the end of the night.
That's right. As part of this punishment, Murr has to go all the way with this guy. In character as the late actress Doris Roberts, no protection allowed.
We've rented a room for them at Limbrook Howard Johnson's, which is where we'll be waiting at a professional camera crew.
That's right, Alfred, the new British fifth Joker. There's gonna be more than one wide release tonight. After Murr does the deed, you can go to truetv.com/jokers or your favorite adult website to watch the footage. And stop the tape. Mike.
So does that help you explain things a little bit?
Holy shit! I think Q got a head cold or something because he does not sound like himself. Oh
I think he sounded very accurate to what he normally sounds like. I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you guys think of this new fifth Joker, by the way?
It came out of fucking nowhere. I'll tell you that right now.
I think he's a sir. I think he's like a decorated theater actor over there in the UK.
I don't know what
no,
he's doing with the Jokers, but anyway.
Very highbrow humor
Yeah.
type, I think.
They gotta be. Man, I thought I finally found the woman of my dreams, man. I thought this was for real.
It was a man in disguise.
It was Murr
Yeah.
E, and you got taken by the Jokers. I don't know what to tell you.
I got punked, dude. I got
No.
That's a different IP. Oh shit. I'm
No.
sorry.
Although, if I do hear, I've been reading in the trades that Ashton might be joining the Jokers next as
Oh,
well.
yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
They're really
Good for
starting to
Ashton.
form almost a gang or like a paramilitary group, the Jokers.
Yeah.
They're expanding, but that's not important.
Maybe we'll have someone to take on the Sharks and Jets. Hey, that's a timely reference.
Look at you. Yeah,
That's that reference is either 50 or 1 year too late. But Mike, I gotta know. I mean, no one's seen the footage yet. They haven't put it up yet. Like I said, this is an advanced copy. Did you go all the way with Murr?
I mean, I gotta listen. Dude knows how to show a good time. That's all. I'll leave it as. I guess watch the video. That's.
Link in the description below.
Yeah, I feel like it's weird because on the one hand I feel violated. On the other hand, I want it to do well. Like I feel like that would make it a bit better. I'm very torn in this moment.
Are you going to see Murr E again? Is the real question. Do you have another date on the books?
It's a relationship built on a lie. So I mean, it's very interesting for me.
It
which
is.
very
I mean,
timely.
But it sounds like you had a good time.
I did. If he keeps the wig on, I'm not saying no.
You don't think that's disrespectful at this point? All right. You know what? Report back to us on that, and maybe she/Murr will be the.
No, I mean, no, here's the thing, right? Like, I recognize that it was built on a lie. I'm upset about it. However, if Murray wants to start a relationship with me and he is okay with staying in character, you know what? Like, it was a fun time. Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you're not upset about this, because if the Barone Boys and
Are
the
going to clip
Jokers,
this and send it to the Jokers.
yeah, if we and the Jokers got into a feud or a beef of some kind, I don't know if we would win. There's only 3 of us, and they're
There's
rapidly
now 5.
expanding.
Well, think about it like this. They're going to be out of breath by the time they reach the 100th floor to fight us.
That's
a
true.
point.
We do have
got some
a physical advantage over them.
Yeah.
Although, have you guys... There is that construction going on across the street.
Yeah.
Do you know what they're building over there?
I don't know. It looks kind of tall.
It looks
to be
like
honest.
it's gonna they're putting up some of the what do you call them, beams, the
that hold the
frame
building
of
up?
the
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
They're already getting pretty high.
Aren't they like around like the 60th floor already? Something
Yeah.
like that?
I don't know.
I mean, to be honest with you, I liked that we had the knowledge of the Montparnasse of Lynbrook, and now it's being challenged.
Blocking our view.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. By the way, if listener, if this is your first episode that you're listening to, I am so very sorry. Welcome back to Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, this is the nation's, and in fact the world's only best and longest Everybody Loves Raymond podcast. My name's Adam Rudy.
I am Mike.
I'm Alex Shear, and we are all here, Rhyme, to tell you about some extra special milestones.
That's right. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. What you may not know is that we have passed the milestone of, and you have skipped the past 24 hours of talking about Everybody Loves Raymond.
Woo! Wow. Full day.
A full calendar
cycle.
day. If
my
you...
It's too much.
And we want to lay down the gauntlet here. We're calling it the Everybody Loves Raymond Challenge. Wake up at midnight. Set your alarm. You wake up at midnight, and you hit play on our season 1, episode 1, pilot episode. And then by the end of the day at 11:59, you should be, I think, halfway through season 1, episode 14. At that point, take a screenshot of your phone with 11:59 as the time and halfway through season 1, episode 14. Send that to us.
Forget that. Film the whole thing.
Live stream
We will watch it
on Twitch.
to make sure that it's legit. And then you will get your comeuppance.
Or prize. Let's call it a prize.
Oh, okay.
What prize can we offer them?
We
Shout out.
will.
It's all we can afford.
Yeah, we haven't been making too much of a. Yeah, I guess we could do that. We could send them a wig.
A wig.
Yeah,
wig.
From
The one Mur wore.
Mur's collection.
You're gonna snatch Mur's wig.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
hopefully he's got more. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If you live stream yourself listening to 24 hours of this podcast, we'll send you the very Doris Roberts wig that Mur has been wearing on his dates with Mike. And that's what this show is all about.
I guess so.
Another milestone that we've crossed, we have had the distinct honor and pleasure of reaching 1,000 total downloads / streams / plays of this podcast.
Hey,
Which is crazy.
thank you guys so much.
It's-
That's insane.
It's amazing to me to think about because if you listened to our first, thank you, Adam. If you've listened to our first, it's fine. Alex is talking. If you've listened to our first episode of the podcast, you'll remember Mike and I bringing up the fact that we ran a podcast before this one. And the length of time it took us to get to 1,000 was significantly longer. So we're very happy and excited to have a little community forming around our little show. And we have a wholehearted thank you to everyone who has listened, but also everyone who has reached out to us for remembrances and Judge Debra's and criticisms.
Especially those people. No, genuinely. Like we appreciate any and all interaction and or feedback that you offer. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
it blows my mind that there are people outside of the three of us that are listening to us on a regular basis, and I am incredibly grateful that is happening.
Yeah, for sure. I think we have all of our listeners to thank. We have our guests to thank. But above all, the reason I think that people are tuning in is the man that we owe all of this to. And that's Ray Romano.
Ray Romano.
Ray Romano.
So thank you, Ray, for laying down those coattails for us to ride on. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all of you.
I was just going to say, and if you're listening to this, please get a cameo so we can hire you to record our outro for us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ray.
Yeah, right.
Okay, the structure of that sentence made it sound like we want
You're
our
asking our
listeners to
listeners.
start cameos.
No. That's Ray. Listener, you just keep messaging
Keep vibing.
us.
You're doing great.
Yeah, you guys are doing great out there. Everybody involved in this show is doing great in here. Ray is killing it. And yeah, so we're just thrilled and truly honored to be a part of your lives. At any rate, we do have some business to attend to. Speaking of people forming a little community and participating around this show, we received a Raymembrance.
Hey!
A Raymembrance, by the way, I haven't reset this in a while. A Raymembrance.
It's been a couple months.
And we keep saying it at the end of the show as if people are supposed to know what it means. But a Raymembrance is a video or an article or even another movie or TV show that a cast member from Everybody Loves Raymond has appeared in. So, for example, we watched Patricia Heaton on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That was one Raymembrance. We talked about the movie Grilled that Ray Romano was in. That was a Raymembrance as well. Mike, what do we have for today's Raymembrance?
Well, we have been graced by the presence of a fan of the podcast, Brian C., who sent us a clip of Brad Garrett and Ray Romano both at the World Series of Poker. It seems that they have some kind of celebrity game at the World Series of Poker. I imagine they are not competing with the rest of the great people, but of course we will see in a moment when we watch it. But he sent us this after the airing of the episode. What was it called? The episode
Win, Lose, or Draw.
Betting? Win, Lose, or Draw, where Ray Barone loses $2,700.
That's right.
And so he sent this thinking it was relevant, and it absolutely was. In this, there is a $10,000 buy-in. So Ray and Brad are risking quite a bit more than that $2,700.
Right, so let's give a listen to this clip. And listener, if you want to hear the or see the visuals that go along with this is called Ray Romano and Brad Garrett sitting at adjacent tables in WSOP, that's World Series of Poker, main event.
Yeah, it's only 1 minute 38 seconds, so I'll watch it with you guys.
Garage sale. I was going to go at Lou Rolls.
Hell yeah.
This is awesome.
Okay. You're all right. You're in it. But now I'm I just had to call a bluff because I was short stacked at 22 grand and.
Did you double up? You doubled up, right?
Doubled up, and I had him pre-flop, and then I had him after the flop, and then the turn he pulled a straight. I still just had the ace in my hand and the one on the board, jack kicker. So I was nervous. I checked the turn.
Yeah. This is dragging on a little, but go ahead.
Anyway, he checks. He has the straight, and the board pairs on the river, and I go all in.
Wait a minute, so you hit the full house?
No, he thought I did.
He folded the straight? He folded. Were you there?
Yeah, I saw it. He tanked for 5 minutes before folding, but then he folded straight up on the river.
Otherwise you're out. Otherwise I'm
out. I had a push. You want to stretch after the interview?
My neck hurts. I'm
What
looking
are you,
up.
Stevie Wonder?
God.
Just relax. So I ended up paying for his massage.
Well, I just made a little run, so I don't know. If I can get to day 3, that's my record. Day 3 is my record. But, after dinner, things get hairy on day 2.
Yeah, things are hairy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm hungry.
Speaking of hairy,
Right.
Your girlfriend got the reservation? Ding,
Yeah,
a
but she
ding,
shaved.
ding, a
Ba,
ding,
ba,
a
ba,
ding,
ba,
a ding, a ding, ding. Cut.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have two.
Wow. As someone who knows nothing about poker, I understood very little of what was said, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I just
that was
gotta say, I
very
got-
technical.
2 takeaways from that. Number 1, Brad Garrett knows his freaking poker. Number 2, I don't think Ray Romano does. Because Brad goes in all of this as far as he turned the river, he got the straight, went all in, he folded, and Ray's just like, yeah, after dinner it gets a little tiring.
Yeah.
I just...
Either Ray doesn't know as much or he just doesn't care, which is understandable. But I want to describe a couple of visual things that happen there. So
You want to
while
describe
Brad
that one
is-
visual?
Brad is describing his hand, and he is excited about. I truly don't understand whether he won that hand or not. But he's
He
excited
did
about
because
something.
the other guy folded, so
Oh, okay,
basically the
okay.
other guy gave up.
So I know what folded means. So
Okay. I don't know. You don't know everything.
I don't know.
Don't
everything.
treat him like a child, Mike.
I'm sorry.
I know what folded means, but that's about it. I'm not entirely sure what
I
the
fold
river
my
is.
laundry every day.
But Brad is talking about his hand, and he's excited that he won. So that little squeal that he does is him thrusting his nipple towards the camera and sort of fiddling with it and making
Circulating it.
circling it and making a pleasurable high-pitched noise. And then it was quick, and you might not have heard it, but Ray, so there's a cut in the video after Brad is talking, and Ray stretches out his neck, and he does a little side-to-side motion, and Brad says, what are you, Stevie Wonder? Which, if you've ever seen a video of Stevie Wonder perform, that's the movement that Stevie likes to make when he's vibing out to the music. So I thought those two I love their dynamic together.
Yeah,
They seem to
they
be
really
actual
do
friends.
seem like they enjoy hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
And I will say, it always takes me every time I see Ray Romano out of character, and he has the same frickin' voice that Ray Barone does. It just takes me out of it for a second. I'm just like, holy crap, that's not an accent. That's just how he talks.
Yeah, that's his real voice.
Yeah.
But it's
He
not
was in the-
Brad's real voice. Because you might have noticed.
That's true.
Well, the Robert voice is him affecting his voice to be lower, but his real voice is a little higher.
Absolutely. It's shocking the first time you hear it. Again, I've mentioned this multiple times, but I've watched Till Death, which is Brad Garrett's sitcom, and he does not do a Robert voice. He just uses his regular ass voice, and it's off-putting at first.
Yeah. We should do a, when we're done with this in 8 years, we'll do
bonus episode.
We'll keep it going with the Till Death rewatch. And
Oh,
then we'll call
God.
it Till Death, and we'll keep watching it over and over again until we die.
Until we die. At some point, we should also throw in the middle in there too. But
Yeah, and
How about in the middle?
Parenthood
how about in the
and,
middle? There you go. Hey,
and Men of a Certain Age and all of their various other projects. I feel like with the middle, that's another multi-year commitment that I don't
That
necessarily
is absolutely-
wanna
Yeah,
do.
and that one might actually have some competition to it. 'Cause that's a popular show.
it is, and it's
Yeah.
way more recent. It's done now, but it's way more recent.
Yeah.
Is Till Death that long?
I think 2,
I think it's
3.
like 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay.
It's not too long. I binged the whole thing in like a week or two.
Okay.
I've seen a bit of it. I don't think it was syndicated, at least not anywhere I was watching, but I have seen it on Hulu or something a couple times.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So any other
It's fine.
thoughts about... We didn't see any poker playing in that video.
It was just an interview about it.
Yeah, they some poker website interviewed them afterwards, and I think what was really great about that video was just 90 seconds of seeing those guys. Like, you know, it's always really great to see when they're friends outside of the show, you know?
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants
Absolutely.
the friends to be friends outside of the show. The friends don't give a shit about each other, let me tell you.
Have you personally spoken to Courtney Cox and David Schwimmer about that?
I have not. All of their interactions and the fact that they all had to be paid millions of dollars to appear on a reunion together tells me that they don't recreationally often spend time together.
You're
But
probably right.
I do feel like Brad and Ray, I mean, we saw our last week's guest, Brian Rodriguez, showed us a picture of from his Ray sighting of Brad and Ray together just out in the world together. So it's like, those guys are obviously, you know, maybe they're not the best of friends, but at least they hang out from time to time, and that's awesome to see.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that clip before we throw to a break?
I think I'm good.
It was damn cool.
It was a cool vibe, and that's what we try to accomplish here in the show.
It makes me almost want to start considering thinking about watching poker. Almost.
No, I've done it before. Like, I've watched some of the World Series of Poker before. I'm sure it's one of those things, like, if you know what's going on, it's enjoyable, but I don't, and it's less
Right.
entertaining.
Well, on that note, Mike, can you please put your phone down and stop texting during the show? I mean,
Yeah,
I know it's a new relationship and everything, but
I'm
be,
sorry.
Be present.
Sorry.
At the
You just-
look, if you're gonna do anything, get Murr on the show, and then you guys could just talk here.
He says he doesn't want to actually be associated, but
He doesn't want to be seen in public.
He doesn't want proof. He wants people to just think this is a bit instead of the actual truth.
Right.
yeah. Sorry. Listen, Marie is a little needy still. A little needy.
Okay.
But yeah. Sorry,
let's.
baby. I love you.
One date, Mike. God damn, you just give that to anyone? Come on, man. What the hell?
Listen, it was a really, really good date.
Well, we'll let Mike and Murray get on the phone together, and while we're listening to this, a message from our sponsor. When we come back, we will be breaking down Season 1, Episode 16 of Everybody Loves Raymond. It's called Diamonds, and we will be right back.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from Everybody Loves Raymond. If you're listening to this show, I think it means that you love Everybody Loves Raymond. I think we can agree it's a great show and that the show got way better when they introduced Shamsky the Bulldog. Robert takes good care of Shamsky, but he could do better with BarkBox. Give your dog exactly what they want with BarkBox. BarkBox is a totally customized box of more than $40 worth of themed toys and treats delivered to your door every single month. Over 2 million dogs have enjoyed BarkBox's unique, curated collections of innovative toys, all-natural treats, and chews inspired by Stranger Things, Star Wars, Spider-Man, and so much more. Support this show by visiting BarkBox through postfun.info/ads. That's postfun.info/ads. And when you get there, let them know Raymond sent you. Welcome back, everybody. We are going through Season 1, Episode 16 of Everybody Loves Raymond Diamonds. We'll dive right into the cold open, and holy cow, what a cold open it is. We got our first frame of the episode is Shea Stadium, the baseball stadium where the Mets used to play. It's since been torn down and replaced by Citi Field. But this is, first of all, personally, as a Limerickite, I have spent many hours in Shea Stadium and its new iteration, Citi Field. And then we get one of the single biggest, most influential players in the history of the game. Barry Bonds lands in the Barone zone. He lands in discussing with Ray Romano. Barry Bonds, at this point, I'm assuming this is probably a game where the San Francisco Giants are visiting the New York Mets, because he's never played for the New York Mets. But Barry Bonds is arguably the single greatest baseball player in the history of the game. He leads the history of the game in home runs hit with over 750 home runs hit over the course of his entire career. He has by far the single most home runs in a single season with 73. The next guy after him hit 61. He dominated the game. It cannot be overstated how much baseball revolved around Barry Bonds. He leads the league. He leads baseball history in walks because people were so scared to throw him pitches in the strike zone. Now, Barry Bonds also, had his legacy to face because he took steroids for the vast majority of his career and will never be a part of the he's a controversial figure for that reason, will never be a part of the Baseball Hall of Fame for that reason, much debate and chagrin from many baseball fans. But it was really cool because this is 1997. This is pre-73 home run season, which he hit in 2001. This is pre-steroid controversy. This is pre all of that, and it was just cool to see one of the greatest baseball players in the game in a Raymond episode. I couldn't believe it.
And now I want to talk about the cool stuff, the silly bit they had going on.
That was probably, what an electrifying visit from the sports guy that was.
I mentioned this off mic in the break, but I genuinely could do a 3-hour debate about the career of Barry Bonds. I could make that a whole podcast on its own, but
tune in next week then.
Baroness
episode.
I already know that Adam clips out my Mets rants and stuff like that, so I don't want to give him too much work today.
I clip them out, but I do save them. So eventually we'll
sweet.
be able to go alongside our 24 hours of Raymond talk. There's 24 hours of disconnected thoughts that you have about the Mets.
Which is surprisingly low for 15 episodes.
Yeah, I try to restrain myself, honestly.
Yeah, we'll spin you off. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll spin you off entirely, and then you won't be a part of this.
I'll have. I was just thinking a Mets podcast by Mike.
But yeah, so we're in season 1, episode 16, and our cold open is at Shea Stadium with Barry Bonds. I felt like this was a very cute little, very written sketch piece. This felt like a real almost vaudeville give and take here, which was tonally I felt like it was very it just felt very contained. But Barry Bonds is walking out of the locker room with Ray. Ray is thanking him for giving him an interview, and he asks Ray for change for the payphone. And
payphone.
Yeah, so a payphone for our listeners who are even younger than us is a phone that you pay for.
But they're gone everywhere.
I don't understand, Adam. I pay every month for my phone.
No. This is you pay at a time for a publicly available, urine-soaked installation of a phone.
I have a question, Adam.
Yeah.
Why were people in the 90s peeing on public phones?
Because I think it's because the payphone was in a little contained sort of. It had the dividers. It was almost like, picture, if you're a frequenter of men's bathrooms, picture the little dividers between the urinals, and that's what a payphone. That's like a row of payphones would be set up like that. So, it's easy to see how people will get confused.
Is this a bathroom?
Gotcha.
Wow, this urinal comes with a phone.
Let me pee on it.
So
Establish dominance.
So Barry Bonds asks Ray for some change, and Ray has a little rejoinder about how Barry makes $7 million, which I didn't put this in the inflation calculator. I wonder how much that is today.
His total contract is worth so he got $48.3 million over the course of, I think, 7 or 8 years. It comes out to about $7 million a year, but like the entire contract in 2021 money is over $83 million.
Wow.
Which, for the record, really isn't that much compared to what baseball players today make. Like, Max Scherzer alone makes over $40 million a year.
Wow, that makes me sad for the rest of humanity.
Yeah.
Well, if you get good at throwing a ball 100 miles an hour, you too can make $40 million a year.
I don't know if that's simple, Mike.
Yeah, well.
My fiance showed me a TikTok yesterday of a woman who has built a entire air-conditioned, insulated house, multiple bedrooms for her dogs on her property.
Whoa.
Complete with a slide. And there was only, we had to scroll for a while to find somebody who mentioned the tent cities that are in every, major American metropolis.
Yeah.
Hang on, Adam. I got to stop you there for a sec, because we explained for the younger generations we have to be, inclusive. So TikTok is an app that you download on a cell phone.
On. So picture a payphone and then replace the phone part with a screen. And now, okay, go, Alex.
And on that phone, you can... Oh, I'm actually doing this. No, forget the episode. You can download things called apps, and you can open them by just clicking on the little screen in front of you. How's that drink taste, Adam?
He really tried to be subtle. I saw
did.
him turning back towards the mic and then turning away from it specifically to avoid that comment.
No, I'm just going to hassle you now.
I'm never bringing a straw to the Barone zone ever again.
Good. They hurt turtles.
At any rate.
The Limbrook Turtles are endangered, don't you know?
Yeah, that's the minor league hockey team.
They keep choking on straws.
Yeah.
Stop leaving them everywhere.
When they're really bad, the
crowd pelts them with
throws
straws.
straws onto the ice.
I feel like we're getting off track.
Yes.
A little bit. So Barry Bonds asks Ray for a quarter.
Barry Bonds asks Ray for the quarter, even though he makes $7 million a year, and Ray brings this up, and Barry asks, and this is what felt like very, vaudevillian to me. He's like, Ray, how much do you make a year? About 50? And Ray's like,
yeah, I make about that.
And inflation calculator, 50,000 is 90,000 in today's money.
Which is still pretty tight for a family of 5.
We talked
in
about
today's standards.
We talked about
this on again, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah. How much Ray probably makes and how much, the $2,000 that he lost to Frank in that episode would impact it. So, this gives us a better idea of that. Sort of comfortably upper middle class, pushing 6 figures in today's money. Oh, my God. But Barry then breaks down Ray's $50,000 to be about $1 a word. And it's like, every time you hit the letter A, you're making $1, based on the number of columns that Ray writes and so on. And then Ray's like, haha, good point, Barry. And Barry's like, so can I have that change? And then he's like, you bet.
Here, have 2.
Yeah,
says.
have 2. Yeah. That's right.
Makes him feel like that. That's the trick where it is. You make the money seem so simple to get that it just becomes a little less valuable to the listener.
Yeah. I thought this was, we had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in an earlier episode as our first sports guest star, and then Terry Bradshaw as sort of a supporting character in episode 13. So this is a really good use of an athlete guest star in one of these episodes because it's contained and, it's a strong piece and they can land jokes, and it's just a great, way to incorporate that, I thought.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. I personally would have preferred if Barry Bonds started dating Amy or something like that, and we get like a Keith Hernandez Seinfeld situation. But we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. I thought he did a decent job.
For a one-time appearance, I thought this is a really great way to use a guest star.
It was fun. It was good.
Yeah. But like we mentioned with Brian, we would really have liked to see Ray get Barry hooked on steroids in this cold open.
That would have been ideal. Of him to be like, hey, you know what? You could afford steroids. And he just starts pushing the needles at him. Yeah.
I'd like to think of Ray being like the Forrest Gump of the sports world. And is like breaking up J-Lo and A-Rod and getting Pete Rose on Addicted to Gambling and all of the great downfalls in sports history, convincing Michael Jordan to do Space Jam, stuff like that.
And quit basketball for
and
baseball.
quit basketball for baseball. But after that cold open, we go to our conveyor belt opening. Good to see it. And we go to Marie and Frank's house. By the way, still snowing in Limbrook on this episode.
I do love the weather continuity.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's probably just because they, film year round. Mm-hmm. But I love it.
So Marie and Frank are in their kitchen, and Frank is eating a sandwich. That's important. And Ray enters because Allie's making Valentines, and she needs some construction paper. So he comes in to ask them for some. And I thought it was funny how Marie immediately offers Ray Frank's sandwich.
Yeah.
But they talk a little bit, and then Robert enters because he is in the newspaper. Good for Robert.
Yeah, we're proud of Robert.
Yeah.
I mean, two ways this scene could go when a cop is in the newspaper, but luckily,
it was not a bad story for Robert.
What were you gonna say, Mike?
I was just gonna say I like how in a moment we get confirmation that Amy is Robert's girlfriend.
Yeah, that's true.
Good for Robert.
I was gonna say, at first I thought, oh, this episode they mentioned Amy. That's great. That's more than I expected. And then later, obviously, we get a little bit more than a mention.
Yeah. I love that continuity. It would be terrible for the show as a whole, I think, if Robert and Amy got together in episode 14 and then we never heard from Amy again. Especially,
it also would be a problem if they got married by the end of season 1. Like that, that arc is really interesting and fun later on.
Mm-hmm.
But Robert's in the paper because he arrested Frank's good friend Leon.
Okay, I want to say. He said Leon, and for a split second, I thought he said Leo, and I got very excited. Yeah. Oh my God,
he's back!
That's where
he's
he
a
went.
Criminal.
Leon apparently was some sort of low-level huckster. He was making fake merchandise, everything from snow tires to what did he give Ray along with the ring?
A set of golf clubs.
Yeah, set of golf clubs. But Frank got Marie's wedding ring or engagement ring from Leon. And in addition, as one of the many fake rings that Leon produced. So Robert takes one look at it, and it matches the hundreds of others that he's seen. So he points out that it's fake. Marie is obviously furious, and she essentially announces that she's going to go spend all of Frank's money on a new one.
I thought that was a great line of I thought that was a great line of she leaves and she's just like, I'm going shopping. Frank, you're going to be shocked at how generous you can be.
I agree.
And Ray is he's in shambles because he also got a ring from Leon for Debra. And this is when we get the line about, and he threw in some golf clubs. Frank got snow tires. And I think Ray's immediate reaction to this is pretty appropriate. He vows that he's going to spend at least $2,000 to replace the stone.
I want to commend Ray for his instant desire to try and make things right, because he felt like he did wrong. He felt like
I think he was really embarrassed about this, about the whole thing.
Yeah, and after this point, my respect for his decisions have are no more. I commend him wanting to fix the situation, and then after this, I think he does not do anything else really right at all.
I will say that we've had a brief discussion, barring the last scene, the last beat of the episode. I have a lot of sympathy for Ray trying to fix the problem before it becomes a problem, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, we'll get to the last scene when the last scene happens, but he wanted to impress the woman that he's in love with, and it turns out that he got screwed over. And he was embarrassed about that. I have sympathy for his motivations. I don't think it was.
I do too.
Anything else?
His motivation's great and fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
his actions are what I have a problem with.
His immediate reaction to it is the right reaction. He realizes that he got scammed, or as a result of him trying to, get a deal, he cut a corner by not actually having a diamond in the ring. So he wants to resolve that, and this is a good. It's a good situation for Ray where he learns that he did something wrong and then tries to rectify it. It's not like he's known about this the whole time and is worried that Debra is going to find out, so that's why he wants to resolve it. His motivation is good.
He learned about this a day before Debra did. That's great.
Yeah. It all happens the day, February 13th and then February 14th. This is his Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Ray then goes back over to his house. He goes into the living room where Debra and Allie are making Valentines.
Which, by the way, I just want to say, he went over to the parents' house to get construction paper.
Yeah.
He gets back to Debra and Allie's cutting up some construction paper.
She wanted more and
more.
pink.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed that. I was just they didn't. Yeah, I thought that was a continuity error. Never mind.
Well, he brought it looked like 3 sheets of construction paper. So I'm wondering about I'd like to see a breakdown of the construction paper inventory at Marie and Frank's house and whether he should have just taken a package, brought it over, and then returned it later.
Marie has full sealed packs of construction paper, buckets of them for the kids.
We learn in the scene. Here's a question. So, does Debra sound different to you in this episode?
I was thinking that too.
I didn't notice that. What happened?
I wasn't gonna voice it because I thought it was just me. But now that you say that, it sounded like her voice is maybe a little hoarse.
Yeah, she sounded sick. I thought.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because I thought it was. I was watching this on our not primary TV, so I thought it was a thing with the speaker or something. But
for me, it was really just this scene that I was
she sounded noticeably hoarse. So I don't know, maybe she was sick this week, but
it could also be just back then it wasn't an issue, but now we have HD speakers. Maybe
true. Maybe the sound quality is a little better.
I missed all of that, so shows what I know.
Let us know if you heard it, listener.
Yeah, just write us an email to Raymond@postfun.info with yes or no.
Usually we ask 5 or 6 things for for the listener to respond to.
We give a lot of homework on this podcast.
So, you know what, just one email, just 1 through 6, yes, no, yes, no, whatever. Answer all our questions without context, and we will proceed to not try and figure out what you're trying to say.
So, she sounds a little hoarse this episode. I don't know. Maybe she was just sick.
Yeah.
But
the interaction itself, though, was cute and sweet.
Yeah. She is very affectionate towards Ray when he comes back, and it's just a really nice interaction. We find out that Ray, at least one of his proposals was on Valentine's Day.
I think the last one.
The final one,
based on the fact that she said yes after much thought.
Anyway, yes.
So that's another little, I guess that's Valentine's Day, 1990 something?
Maybe
what are you talking about?
They've been together
it was
for
8 years prior to
8
this,
years. Okay.
So
Well,
yeah.
married. Was it married 8 years? or
1989?
Together 8 years.
Oh, married 8 years. I don't know.
I don't know. We didn't do that.
Somewhere in the late 80s.
I feel like we should be educated on this. I'm going to guess 90.
Well, the episode aired in 97, so assuming that they mean 8 years ago, that would put us at 89.
In Gus, Ray and Debra, we learn, have been married for 7 years.
So 89?
So, yeah. Well, or 90, because, no, Gus definitely came out
Gus
in
was
96.
in 96.
For sure.
This one is now in the new year, 97.
This is in 97.
So they got married 89.
Probably late 89.
Yeah.
Yes. So Ray and Debra, I'm going to write that down for continuity's sake. Ray and Debra.
Wow. They've been married 33 years today. Well, this year.
This year, yeah.
Good for them.
We don't know their exact date of anniversary.
That's
but,
canon.
We
that's
might
canon.
find out.
We know that they were married in 1989.
All right. Yeah. So Robert then comes over, and during this discussion about Valentine's Day and their proposal and Allie and stuff, Ray is sort of trying to sneak the ring off of Deborah's hand, and Robert comes over. Ray immediately checks in about the situation with Robert, and Robert says, "Not everything is about you, Ray," and then asks Debra for advice about Amy. He's been on 4 dates with Amy at this point and wants to know if he should get her a Valentine's Day present. And Debra suggests that you can't go wrong with jewelry, which, of course...
she also mentions her favorite color is green.
Yes, that's an important note as well.
I want to ask you guys, what are your thoughts if a friend of yours came to you and asked, I went on 4 dates with someone and Valentine's Day is around the corner. Do you think I should get them a gift? Yes or no?
I mean, it depends, because Amy, when Debra says if it helps, Amy got you a gift, the answer is then, you gotta reciprocate. But I don't know. It depends on how serious those 4 dates were.
I thought Amy got Robert a great early date gift, which is a tie. It's low stakes, but it's still thoughtful.
That's what I would think, too, is if whether or not it's totally fine to get somebody something small, regardless of where you are in the relationship, just to sort of mark the day, even if it's just like a box of chocolate or something. Like, it doesn't have to be an iguana. I mean,
That's such a great moment. I'll be honest. If Murr doesn't get me a Valentine's Day gift, I'm going to be rather upset. Anyway.
Continuity-wise, I think you have some time.
I got 3 dates
bunch of
before
time,
you're going to get the iguana, Mike.
Yeah.
It is August. 6 months? 6 months.
Yeah, got 6 months.
Oh,
yeah.
math. I hope we'll check in on that. Let me set a timer. We'll check in on that in 6 months.
Didn't Murr? Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool.
Debra gives Robert advice about getting something for Amy, tells him that she already got him something, and you can't go wrong with jewelry, which sets Ray on edge, of course, given the conflict for him in this episode.
I also like the little look Robert gave Ray after she said jewelry.
Yeah.
I just thought that was just...
Yeah.
I liked,
great
you can see
visuals.
Robert having fun with this situation, I think. He doesn't feel too bad for Ray.
In Robert's mind, Ray doesn't mess up too much.
Yeah.
So when he does, Robert takes full advantage.
He takes some great glee in it. I love it.
Yeah.
I really do.
So our next scene, it's nighttime, and Ray and Debra are in bed. Debra is sleeping, and Ray thinks this is his opportunity to...
This was some Charlie Chaplin shit.
Exactly. That's what I wrote down.
This episode really does have a lot of great physical
There is a
comedy, and
ton
it
of
really
physical.
doesn't.
This was like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it was
like
great.
The show, at least up to now, has not had it. In this moment, I was just like, they should do this every freaking episode. This is delightful.
This was essentially a silent, 5-minute slapstick piece, which was really, I thought, and we get another bit of physical comedy later, or in the next scene, and I thought it was really good. I really liked the various ways that he tried to get it off her hand at first, and then when he comes in with the butter, just the way that is played is so funny.
Looked like a horror movie.
Yeah, with the lights switching on and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, he tries
very
just about everything to get the ring off of her hand, and then he goes downstairs and gets butter and a flashlight, which wakes her up once he starts trying to butter her finger to get the ring off. And the first line in this scene, after a couple minutes, he's caught. She wakes up. He says, "Want to play Baker in the Mineshaft?" And she says yes. And
She
then
says yes, but I get to be the baker
Yeah.
this time.
Which is just it's so good.
yeah.
So good. I love humor like that.
What a great just physical scene. And then in the next
that-
scene, go ahead.
Does that count as a cum counter?
Yeah,
Next
it does,
scene, it certainly
'cause
does, because
Deborah confirmed it.
in the shower next morning, Deborah's taking a shower. Ray comes into the bathroom to shave, and Deborah's like, "You were so romantic last night, Ray. You held my hand the whole time," which is funny that to think he was trying to get the ring off of her hand during
Baker in the Mine
Baker
Shaft.
in the Mineshaft.
That's what we call it now.
Yeah, Baker on the Mine Shaft. That's the new good old stuff. It's
Good old
just
sex.
Baker in the Mine
Good old
Shaft.
sex.
Yeah.
Baker in the Mine Shaft.
Maybe that's the new stuff.
But Ray doesn't seem as excited as he usually does to have fucked, because he notices as he's shaving that Deborah has taken her ring off and put it on the rim of the tub, and that immediately takes precedence in his mind. And we get a lot of this is our other piece of physical comedy in this episode. Ray trying to sneak across the bathroom to get to the rim of the tub. He jumps back to the sink a couple times and cuts himself shaving, which is a very funny little bit. And then the last time he does it, and this time he actually sneaks across the bathroom, gets the ring, gets startled, jumps back, and then he falls down the stairs, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Falls down the stairs.
So first of all, two things. First of all, when he took the shaving cream that was on his hand and rubbed it on his shirt, I cringed. I was like, this is that good God, no.
I thought that was a really good creative decision.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, it
definitely
was.
improvised.
Even if it wasn't, I was okay with it. It was very funny.
It was very
But this-
slapstick. It was like
Yeah.
using the environment in like a very Charlie Chaplin way.
His physical acting in this scene and the last one was pretty good, I have
It
to
was
say.
really, it was very fun. And then because he's like having a conversation with Deborah, she doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then she just calls out, and he falls out of the room, and then just like the tumbling down, the breaking of glass.
Yeah.
It was the first time in a few episodes that I actually was like actually chuckling to myself in an empty room.
Do
I
we ever
really
see
enjoyed that bit.
hallway? Like,
I don't think we ever see the stairs or that part of the stairs.
yeah. Because I wonder how he would have had to fall to where he fell out of the bathroom, and then in my mind, it's like a T shape with the stairs in the middle. So
Yeah.
did he bang his head on the corner of that wall by the stairs and then fall down the stairs bleeding profusely?
I don't know why I envision it that right when you leave the bathroom, like if you're in first person, you walk out that door, you turn left, and then immediately that's the staircase.
That's what I was picturing too.
Left. I'm picturing it on the right.
Well, the bathroom comes forward and the door's at the back side.
Oh,
which
I
makes
see
me
what
think
you're saying.
That the stairs run parallel to it.
I'm picturing the bathroom sharing a wall with Ray and Debra's room.
Ooh, okay. I see
So
what
it's
you're
sort of
saying.
like over here, and then the stairs is going this way.
We got to look up. There's got to be someone that
Oh,
made
yeah.
like a blueprint of the Limbrick house.
We'll do that some other time. Let's
Yeah,
move on. So yeah, Ray falls down the stairs. Although he doesn't appear to be seriously injured. It would have been a fun continuity thing if he had his arm in a sling in the next scene.
Rest of the show. Yeah.
It's not going well.
But our next scene is Debra. She realizes the ring is missing, and she is frantically looking in the living room, picking up the couch cushions and everything, looking for the ring.
This is where I start to feel bad. Like the rest of up till this point, I was like, "Oh, this is really funny." Ray is in. I didn't think he was trying to be manipulative. He was trying to solve a problem before it became a problem. But then, and this time, I started to feel really bad for Debra because she's just stressed.
She's
the hell
crushed
out. Yeah.
to think that she lost it. But Amy then comes over because she is about to go out with Robert for Valentine's Day, and she's got her present for him. Debra is very on edge and snaps at Amy, essentially, because she's looking for the ring. Robert then comes over with a very, very big present for Amy. It's a big box. She's only gotten him a small box. And
He says, when he walks in, I want to say, he just says, "Saw your car," and with a huge, stupid smile on his face.
He's so
and
pleased.
I thought it was really sweet.
Yeah, it was.
They have a great interaction in this scene. But
he also has a great moment when Debra is freaking out and and Amy's like, "Oh, she's looking for an engagement ring," and Robert's like, "Oh, I don't know anything about that."
No one questions it, too. It just cements how normally strange Robert is.
Yeah.
That no one even thought to ask him more.
Well, it's sort of like the "is this about me" thing, where it's like, oh, Robert thinks everything is, he's under suspicion at all times, so it's totally normal that he would immediately suspiciously deny knowing anything about this. Good character
Work?
Good character work.
There you go.
Good character work. But Amy and Robert exchange their presents. Amy has given Robert a tie with little guns on it, and he loves it.
I don't know why, but I loved that so much. We're just like, she's just so excited, like, it's got little guns, and he gives the exact make, model, the 2-pound
standard
trigger.
police issue.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Which is, it's gross that that's a part of their relationship, but it's also sweet to see them bond over something. And then Robert gives her his gift.
We also almost get a very steamy kiss. Like, they were going for it, and
yeah.
then Debra walks in the room. Yeah.
Robert, I mean, let's just cut to it. He takes an iguana out of the box because green is her favorite color.
I gotta ask, like, what led him down this road? Like,
Green.
When
Green.
did he like?
Green.
When did he like make the wrong turn on the way to the jewelry store and end up in a back alley with a guy who sells iguanas?
He walked by Petco or something like that and was just like,
Do you sell
got
jewelry?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. You would think Robert would jump on Debra saying, you can't go wrong with jewelry, but I'd love to see that scene. Like, this is, when we talk about this show being confined to 22 minutes, this would be a great addition to a 24-minute cut of this episode, would just be him in the store. And I don't know what store it is where there's jewelry right next to the iguana cages, and he's looking back and forth. But
that would have been great. You're right.
Yeah, he leaned on the green too much and not enough on the jewelry.
And he was so happy with it. Surprise! It's an iguana. I thought that was. Robert's so great in this episode.
Yeah. What else happens in that scene? Amy is not thrilled about the iguana. We should say that.
Amy screams. Debra comes up and says, doesn't really question. She's just like, "You find the ring?" "Oh no, it's a lizard," and walks back away.
But presumably they then go on their date. But in our next scene, a little while later, Ray comes back with a big bouquet of roses and the ring. He hides it in the couch and then calls for Debra.
For shame, Ray.
I know. Debra is crying, and she admits that she lost the ring. And Ray sort of comforts her, but he's gearing up for telling her that, or pretending to have found the ring with the new stone in it. But before he can do that, she has a confession to make, and she tells him that right after they got engaged, she had the original stone replaced because she could tell immediately how bad it was, and she didn't want her parents, who already didn't like Ray, to think that he was cheap.
And there's the twist.
So she swapped it with her grandmother's, the stone from her grandmother's ring, which was worth $15,000.
And again, a great moment of physical comedy from Ray as he just collapses like a puppet whose strings have been snapped, as he just collapses onto the coffee table.
Let this be a lesson to all people. When you get someone a gift, you save the receipt, or in this case, the diamond that you took out of the ring.
Right. I thought it was really funny how she's telling this story and they cut to Ray and he is like stone-faced except for the fact that he's blinking very, very fast. I don't know if you caught that. That was a funny choice. Debra is telling him this and she's crying and she says, I could just kill myself, Ray. And Ray says, it could be a murder-suicide as he's rolling on the floor. But he tells her, don't worry about it. This is in the past and whatever.
It's
and
gone.
It's gone. She turns away and he then goes to try to sneakily pull it out of the couch. But she sees, she's thrilled and reluctantly he gives it back to her. She takes it and she immediately, like that switch of her being distraught, then relieved, and then just nonplussed.
Putting it together.
She realizes it's different.
Typically, Doris Roberts steals the show. I just gotta say, Patricia Heaton was the hero of the show based on this scene alone.
Yeah.
Just like as you watched her switch from like this desperate individual to just like, holy shit. Holy shit.
What
Yeah.
did you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Which should be her catchphrase at this point.
Yeah.
It almost reminded me of like in Breaking Bad, Gus Fring, the first interaction when he stops being the businessman and starts being the drug lord. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Breaking Bad, but it reminded me of that moment.
No, yeah, I remember that. Totally. It's the same energy, Mike. She asks Ray, what did you do? And essentially he eventually tells her he threw out the ring after he got it replaced, or he threw out the original stone after he got it replaced. And Deborah's looking at this fake or this replacement, and he's like, where'd you get this stone from, Leon? And I thought that was a nice continuity piece. They yell about it for a bit, and this is where it gets where my sympathies for Ray go out the window. Because originally he's trying to do the right thing. He doesn't know that, she had the stone replaced and that it's valuable now. He turns it around on her and blames her for not telling him that that she got the stone replaced.
I'm with you. That was not a good moment.
Which was completely like, I was like, fuck you, man. I mean, that's such like a it's like the worst kind of guy makes that argument where it's like, well, if you had never done this, like if you go back in that previous step of causality, then you know that you're in the wrong.
Yeah, and it's also like, I would have more sympathy for Ray if he was actually hurt by the replacement thing, but he wasn't. He was just trying to distract from the fact that he threw $15,000 stone in the garbage.
Yeah,
and so
he knew what he got her was like. First, like he knew he got a steal on it price wise, and maybe he did think it was worth something because it sounds like Leon really was good at talking the talk and walking the walk.
But yeah, so he tries to turn it around on her. They yell about it for a little bit, but then Allie comes down the steps, and so the temperature in the room goes down. And she tells them that she just found in her backpack a Valentine from Kenny. Is Kenny the kid?
Same boy?
Yeah, I don't remember. Who in a previous episode
doesn't ring a bell.
I don't know.
He was the guy the kid that was like when she was Kenny or whoever it was finally talked to me. What did he say? Stop talking to me. I hope it is. I'm sure we can fact check it later, but like I hope that is Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be nice.
It's not about the kids.
It's not about the kids. Well, this one kind of, I guess not.
At any rate, she got a paper heart stuck together with gum is the Valentine, and that sort of puts the situation in perspective for Ray and Debra, because they're arguing about these diamonds when Allie is thrilled to just have a piece of paper with gum on it, which is really nice. And does that end the scene just there when they're like, Well,
no, what he says is, it's just cardboard, paper, and gum. And Ray goes, yeah, cheapskate. And I think that's the last line of the scene. I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I think that's it.
I think so. But our hot close is where we really get the resolution of this situation. We get a set we've never seen before. It's an alley, not to be confused with alley, but it's a alleyway. Where Ray and Debra are dumpster diving for the ring. And
Maybe
I thought
it's
that
not
was
a
funny
set.
goal.
Maybe they just went out back and like threw him in the dumpster.
That's
Does that
also
look
possible.
familiar to you guys as a location in Lynbrook that you've
I think
frequented?
that's actually the back of our building.
Yeah. They just straight up used the Barone zone before it was the Barone zone.
Yeah, that's the loading dock behind the Dwayne Reed.
Yeah.
Which we've all dumpster dove in there before.
Oh, of course.
Because they throw those packaged sandwiches out way too early.
No,
That date is
absolutely.
a suggestion on those. But that's
Perfectly good.
the end of the episode. There, I thought it was a nice little resolution to it.
Yeah.
It was.
We're gonna get that stone back no matter what.
And then they had the line of her pulling him in, just like, you find a ring. It cuts to black. Found a ring finger. I thought that was a
Yeah.
funny final
That was
line.
funny.
I really like
Dark.
this episode a lot.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought it was
let's,
very fun.
Let's turn our attention to the barometer now and give Ray a classic rating on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the great dads of sitcom history, 1 being the guys who suck. Mike, where's Ray coming in for you on this one?
I'm torn, right? Because, like, obviously not a 10. Definitely not a 10.
Definitely not.
But, like, I do think that, like, a lot of his motivation is a good motivation, and it felt real to me. Like, he doesn't want to go through the problem. He wants to fix it before it's too late, or before it becomes an issue. He does, want to do right by Debra. That is his motivation. And then the last scene happens, and also, like, his actions do cause Debra, like, a ton of stress and a ton of pain, and, like, so I definitely can't put him. I guess I gotta give him. I think the last scene was so bad for him that I'm gonna put him at a 4. Before I would have had him at a 6, but I think I'm gonna knock him down 2 pegs and put him at a 4.
All right, so that's a 4 for Mike. Alex, where's Ray coming in for you this time?
4 as well, but
Okay.
I instead of Mike bringing him down because of the last scene, I think he was just always there the entire episode.
Alex didn't have any sympathy for Ray this
Ray
episode.
fucking sucked this whole way through. He wanted to right a wrong after that first scene, like he wanted to fix it, and then everything after that was a mistake. The way he did it was just awful. Let me tell you my definition of a 10 in this situation. You find out that the ring you bought your wife is fake. Okay, that's fine. You go to your wife when you have a moment to talk to her alone. You tell her honestly and say that for Valentine's Day I want to right this wrong and get you a nice gem that I can now afford. And then she tells you, "Don't worry about it. I had it replaced anyway." Bam. Horrible sitcom episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's not funny though.
Great resolution. Healthy relationships do not make good sitcoms, usually.
Yeah.
Usually. There are some really healthy relationships in sitcoms. Anyway, Ray wasn't planning on being honest with Debra from the start. We see that his plan was to find it in the couch and be the hero. Instead
yeah,
of
that's a good point.
telling her he took it to get a nicer diamond put in it, he was never going to tell her this. It wasn't like a Valentine's Day gift. This just overlapped with Valentine's Day. And his actions left his wife alone all day on Valentine's Day, hysterically searching for a ring that she thought she lost and afraid of losing something sentimental to her because of Raymond and valuable because of her grandmother's diamond.
I'm gonna put. Okay, sorry. Are you done? Do you have some more?
That's it. Yeah.
After you seem very vitriolically angry at Ray, I'm shocked that you're giving him as high as a 4.
Well, he wasn't like a dick. Like
That is the entire reason I knocked him down from a 6 to a 4.
Here's what I do. Like here's how I like physically see it. 1 and 2 is like physically dangerous. 3 is just above that, and I don't find it in my heart to put him at that point.
Okay, all right.
I think he's been worse. I think he was awful this episode. 4 to me is awful.
What you said about him, his plan being, I'm going to put it in the couch and then be the hero that solves, what Debra thinks is the problem of a missing ring, and then not tell her about any of this. We know that they have a shared bank account. We know that she was mad when he lost $2,000. So if he went and spent $2,000 and didn't tell her, that's also an issue.
That's a good point, yeah.
I'm going to put him at a 3.5. because I think with that in mind, it's bad enough that, like you were saying, a 10 would be have an honest conversation about it. Look, I was broke, so I tried to get a good deal on a ring. Turns out that guy was a scam artist. I'm going to make it up to you. And, if he was sincerely apologetic about it, she would have understood. And anyway, the point would have been moot because she would have told him, actually, I knew that it was a fake and I had it replaced. And then they could have had a nice laugh about it. But his...
I was under the...
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I was under the impression that hiding it in the ring, hiding it in the couch was an improvised thing. I thought that what he was going to do until he saw Debra in the state was put it back where he took it from.
No.
And hope that. That's what I thought.
Before he heard or saw Debra, he put that in the couch.
Well, yeah, he wanted to hide it from her. I
Yeah.
don't think that he meant to do a sword in the stone kind of thing.
Did you watch the episode?
I
When she
did.
said she lost the ring, he's like, oh, well, did you check the couch?
Yeah.
I
He said
still-
that right away.
He
like,
did.
oh, you should check the couch right now and find it.
He did, but I still was under the impression that was more improvised than it was the plan.
That was the plan.
All right. Alex thinks Ray's an evil mastermind. I think he's not smart enough for that.
I don't
No,
think
he's
he
not
was
a mastermind
yeah.
because it was a stupid plan.
Yeah.
I don't think he was a mastermind. I think he wanted to solve this problem in a way that would make him look good, and I dock him for that. In addition to the fact of the money, the non-communication, and then the fact that he turns it around and blames her, really rubbed me the wrong way. I was like,
Yeah,
that is
I
such a
agree.
dick move.
That was not his finest moment.
So
at
I'm
all.
coming in at 3.5. What does that
know what?
average out to, man?
I'm
That
gonna,
averages
Whoa,
out
whoa,
to a
hold on.
3.
What is it,
I'm
Alex?
sorry. I'm going to bring it down to 3.5 as well.
Oh,
you
shit, that ruins my
You've
calculations.
convinced me, Adam, that I was being too nice. Mike did not convince me that I was not being too nice.
So that comes out to 7 plus 4 is 11 divided by 3. That comes out to a 3.67.
Sorry,
for this episode.
3.7. Okay, wow.
Threw you off.
Yeah.
Is that the lowest he's had? It's definitely
I
the lowest
don't-
he's had in a while. I don't know if that's
It's the lowest he's had in a
all time.
while.
Let me
I
see.
think that there was one other that he was really, really bad with.
You know, Mike, I got to hand it to us.
3.2 in Gus.
We
3.2.
disagreed so much on this episode, and yet we scored him so closely.
Well, I think it's like I think what it comes down to is I have sympathy for him. I don't think, but he was a dick in that last moment.
Yeah.
That was what really pissed me off.
To see
yeah, I
his
think-
good intentions and then where he fell to is like
Yeah.
so. it's-
Exactly. That's the thing, right?
His-
Like in a lot of these other episodes, the reason I was sympathetic for him is like in a lot of these other episodes, his motivation is, oh, gotta make the wife happy. Oh God, boy, I hate my wife. But then in this one, it felt like it came from a place of like I want to do right by this person. And that's why I wanted to rank him higher. And then he threw that all out the window in the last fight.
But he
Yeah.
wanted to wrong a right, but like he went about it. His plan was to again make himself come out victorious as like a hero. He wanted to fix it and get credit for fixing a problem that he made. And it just makes me angry.
Yeah, it pisses me off as well. Ray, you really screwed this one up. You're coming in at a 3.7 on the barometer for this season 1, episode 16
Have
of
fun
Everybody.
swimming in that garbage.
That's where you belong, my friend.
That being said, even though Ray ranked that low, I think this was one of my favorite episodes I've seen in a very long time.
It was very fun. I had a great time watching this episode.
Yeah, we didn't talk about our overall impressions because we threw right to sports, but
That's right.
yeah, I think the plot is, a strong sitcom plot. It's very farcical. It's almost like a Frasier plot, like very like whimsical, and it was the physical comedy was really strong. We got some good character development for Robert. Marie and Frank had that.
plot was
Yeah.
really fun. I call it B.5 because it's like it's not a full arc, but like the
Lowercase
bits that we
b.
saw was a lot of fun.
It was
yeah,
more just like
lowercase
a
b.
joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, even Marie and Frank got a good little scene in there. So I thought it was a strong episode, but, Ray as a man, God damn it. But anyway, that's our episode and that's our show. As always, visit postfun.info/ads. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, Barone Zone. Email us Raymembrance, which is a piece of media that the cast has been outside of this, or a Judge Debra, which is a hot take, something oppositional, Ray versus Robert, who would win in a fight, that sort of thing, to Ray.
That would be a really good
Yeah,
one.
Robert.
No questions, Robert. Yeah.
Okay, what about Ray with a knife versus Robert with his hands tied behind his back? That's maybe a
Robert.
little...
Still Robert.
Robert would get Ray to cut him loose with his tactical maneuvers.
Yeah, Robert is both smarter and stronger than Ray.
Yeah.
Like there's almost no question
that's
here.
true. So that's the sort of thing we're looking for Judge Debra. Send those to Raymond at postfund.info or reach out to us on any of those social platforms at Barone Zone. Anything else to add, guys? Did I miss anything?
I think that's it.
All right, then
good.
we'll let Mike has been his video and audio have been muted on FaceTime with Murray this whole time, so we'll let him get back to that.
He's almost finished the makeup, man. Come on, let's go.
You're watching him put the makeup on?
Yeah, listen, he lied to me, but like now that the illusion is shattered, I can support him in this.
Yeah, you have kind of a weird nebulous thing going on.
I don't understand it, but I support it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Look forward to following up on that.
You don't have to.
No.
It's going to be the new weekly segment.
This is your character arc for at least the rest of the season. So
Email us if you want to see more.
Don't do that.
We'll follow up on that and all things Everybody Loves Raymond next time on Everybody Loves Raymond. The only thing left to say is our classic sign-off. Everybody
Loves
Raymond!
and we love you.
Bye.
Bye.
You.